I just thought it might be good at this point to answer some of your questions that have been coming up, both from the YouTube videos and pupils that I've taught. There are a few things that seem to be causing trouble. One of the most important things initially, I think, is that some people are saying they're not even getting any sound out of their EWIs to begin with when they buy them as new instruments. Now this seems to be a common fault. Perhaps just lately some of the batch of instruments that are coming out of Akai are having problems with the setup. Not so much problems, just the way they've been left. This is at the core of the problem. If you take the little cap off the back, and what we're interested in is these bottom two little rotary dials down here. Now, I think the best place to start is this one on the left-hand side. You would be good to take that to about the 3 o'clock position, and the one on the right-hand side, the breath sensitivity, you'd be good to have that to begin with, maybe at around the 9 o'clock position. Now what it is, that some of these instruments are coming from the factory with the breath adjustment, the one on the left, way up at about 12 o'clock, and people are finding you'd have to blow a hurricane through it to make the thing work. So a really good thing is if you set these up to be 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, then it's a really good idea to take the one on the left, the adjustment, and slowly move it down more clockwise, and you start getting a sound without any blowing at all. That's off, that's on. Okay? So you need to back off that until the sound stops and just a shade more, just to give it a little bit of headroom. Now that's going to control how much breath it takes before you make a sound. And the other one on the right hand side, the sensitivity, now this is an important one. A lot of people say they struggle with the breath control on the EWI. This is, if you like, for a wind instrument player, a reed player, a little bit like a reed strength. The sensitivity on the right hand side governs how much air you've got to blow through to get the fullest volume. Now this takes a bit of balancing, because if you move the right hand side one, say up to about 12 o'clock position, it takes very little air to blow, very easy. More difficult to control dynamic range, and also, in my opinion, more likely to cause you problems with your breath, because you're going to kind of not put much air down. Now you would think initially that's a good thing. Well, I don't have to blow so hard. That's not the case. Our bodies need to expel air at a fairly quick rate to feel comfortable. If you end up blowing a very small amount of air out, you're going to feel that this is just not getting emptied quick enough, and it's going to make you feel like you're running out of breath. You're actually not running out of breath. You're not getting rid of air quickly enough, so you're not exchanging the air quickly enough. So it's well worth experimenting with this. I like to set it fairly low down. Mine is down almost about sort of 7 o'clock sort of position. I like to feel that if you really want to make a loud sound, you've got to blow some air down this thing to make it right, and that's how it feels with a saxophone. You've got to support it to make a really good sound. So that's the first little bit. The second one, transposition. There have been some questions on transposition. Transposition is something that people get a bit confused with anyway, and I don't really think that we have time here to go through in any kind of great detail on the musical theory of transposition. But what you do need to know that on the right hand side here, just below the screen, is the transpose button. Now when the light above that button is not lit, you are not transposed. You should be in C, concert C. So if I play a C on this now, it's the same as C on the piano. Now, just at this point, it's worth mentioning that there are some things on the EWI that might be making your instrument not quite play at that right pitch. Now, I'm going to assume that you haven't messed around with the internal pitch setting in here. because there is something in there that you can alter, but if you haven't touched it, then it'll be set to what it should be. More importantly, down here we have these two plates either side of where your thumb would sit. Your thumb should sit right in the middle there, not touching either plate. Because what these two do, they bend the pitch either up or down. So if I move my thumb, I have mine set that this upper one doesn't actually change, but the lower one, you'll see here, now that's really useful to get a kind of scooping sound up to the note. Makes a really nice sound, but if you are inadvertently leaning on either one of those plates, that's going to move every single note that you play on the instrument, and so you'll be out of tune. Okay, so be careful about this. Don't touch those keys because that's going to move you out of tune. The other thing is, if you look early on in, I think, lesson 1, there is a setting here when you press the first setup button, and you should go to the AD, the adjust setting. You shouldn't have any lights on there to begin with. There's other settings under here that can control. So back to transposition. So let's say you're reading off some music that is intended for an E-flat alto saxophone, okay? E-flat alto saxophone. This is where we press and hold the transpose button, and now we've got the control here with the right hand side plastic keys to change the key of the instrument. This is set in E-flat now. I let this button go, it's lit. It's lit, that means it's transposed, and I've set it to E-flat. So now when I play off music written for an alto saxophone, it's going to sound right, it'll sound as it's supposed to. In other words, this can get a little bit tricky for some people. Here's a C now on here. Now this sounds the same as E-flat on the piano. Likewise, if an alto saxophone played a C, that comes out as an E-flat on the piano. So if you want to play with your mates and they're playing E-flat saxophones, you should set to E-flat. If they're playing B-flat saxophones or clarinets or trumpets, anything in B-flat, you want to go ahead and set this to B-flat, like so. Okay?